Hi, and welcome to Denver Speakers Corner. Today is December 7th, a day that will live in infamy. We have a small group today. I'm just going to give a quick introduction. Here we have Mr.
Randy Wren. I'm going to talk
Randy
about
Wren.
the movie Australia.
Go for it, sir.
Anyway, I'm a movieaholic, and this week, actually yesterday, I saw Australia, Nicole Kidman's new movie. And if you know anything about Australian history, you know more than I do. And what I thought was very interesting about this movie was that they kept using The Wizard of Oz as sort of a background thing. And it was very interesting because there was a lot about the racial tension in Australia with the Aborigines, and it took place a long time ago, like back in the 1920s, something like that. And there was a very wealthy aristocrat in London who was a horsewoman that Nicole Kidman played. Sarah was her name. And anyway, she went to Australia where her husband lived because that's where all the money came from. They had a cattle farm in the middle of Australia. And when she gets to this place called Faraway Downs, and she has to go a long ways to get there, her husband's lying dead on the dining room table with a spear in his chest. He's been killed. And she takes the bull by the horn and she takes over the cattle ranch. And through hook or by crook and through a lot of ingenious figuring out the politics of Australia, she's able to turn this around and make it a very successful experience for her. And the guy that drives her out to Faraway Downs is played by an actor by the name of, I forget his name, but he's a really beautiful man, and you learn a lot more about him during the movie, and they have an incredible romance. In fact, he starts looking a lot like Clark Gable, and she starts looking a lot like Vivian Leigh, and you're thinking you're watching the remake of Gone with the Wind. But they adopt a little Aborigine boy who they really become fond of, and it has to do with his grandfather, and there's a lot of intermarriage and a lot of confusion in this movie, but the outcome is very beautiful, and the photography is out of this world. It's a sensational movie, and I recommend it to anyone. The other movie I want to tell you about left the Esquire movie theater to make room for Slumdog Millionaire. But at the Esquire recently I saw a really wonderful movie called Happy Go Lucky, which reminded me a little bit of Bridget Jones. And it was about a teacher in the British school system who teaches in London, and she lives with a bunch of other girls, and she decides she wants to learn how to drive a car. So she hires a man to teach her how to be a driver. And so through all the driving lessons, they get into sort of a semi-relationship, which is a sidebar to this movie. But in the meantime, he's assuming, and she kind of goes along with it, because she lives with a lot of other women, that she's a lesbian. And she lets him think that until one of her children at the school has a really bad problem, and she has to get a counselor to come and talk to the student, and she has a relationship with this counselor and has a quick fling with him, and the driver sees her kissing him on the sidewalk, and he's really angry because he's been misled about her, and he's kind of fallen in love with her at the same time. But anyway, Happy Go Lucky is a great film, and so is Australia. And that's my movie report for this week. And this is Randy Wren, W-R-E-N like the bird. And if you have any movie tips you want to share with me, call me. My number is 303-832-4319, and we can go from there. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. N.
Does it work? Good afternoon, coming from beautiful downtown Denver, Colorado. We are here at Speaker's Corner. As you can see, it's a beautiful day. We're looking at 60 degrees here, December 7th. Well, that's all right. Winter will be back tomorrow. And today we have a few interesting things to talk about. I'm only going to bring you one side of this topic, and if you disagree with me, come on down and let's hear your side of the topic. In the paper about a week ago, there was a crime committed. It was a rape that took place over about a 9 or 10 or 11 year period, and the man accused of this rape was arrested, taken downtown, and then released on $50,000 bail. And there was another rape committed, and he was held in jail on a $2 million bond. both of these are heinous crimes, and both of these, the criminals should be off the street. My question to the justice system is, why do we let these people back on the street when they've been accused of such a heinous crime? That's not justice, and we need to do something about that. Also, today we had, about an hour ago, around 200 people from India marching in support of the city of Mumbai, which had just recently been subjected to very serious terror attacks. And I stand with them against the terror and against Islamic terrorism, which has been one of the prime enemies of our fine country, America. My question to the Indians is, I hope they will not tolerate Hindu terrorism in their own state of Orissa, which has been terrorizing local Christians down there. And what are they doing about that? The state has been pretty much turning a blind eye to everything that's been going on in there. And if they're going to protest against terrorism on the Muslim side, I think they need to protest also against, look in their own backyard. The Hindus have been absolutely wicked in their treatment of the Christians in their state of Orissa. So come on down and speak to us and give us your opinion on things going on. Thanks a lot.
And who is next?
And actually, you are.
Let me be next.
So,
I got a short story.
there we go. All right, go for it.
My name is Sal Rubal. I'm a stained glass artist here in Denver, and I'd like to welcome everybody up to North Denver for the holidays. There's an art community between 44th and 38th on Tennyson, and there's probably over, I'd say maybe 30 galleries. They're having a big exhibition this coming week, and it starts November the 10th, and that's in a couple of days, and everybody's welcome. It's going to be a real festivious holiday type thing, so everybody's welcome, and I hope everybody shows up. Thank you very much.
Certainly,
That's
sir.
it.
And last but not least, here we are. You're up.
Hi. I'm the one that is shorter than everybody. No, I'm the one that is talking about responsibility. I'm still going to encourage people to be responsible so that community life can be profitable for everybody. I want to encourage you today to think about what you're thinking about. And that might sound kind of weird, but analyze what's going through your brain. Are you thinking good thoughts? Are you thinking evil thoughts? Are you thinking profitable thoughts for yourself versus for somebody else? Just stop and take and analyze one day of your life. Just analyze what goes through your brain. Or do you just sit in front of a TV and just let it absorb anything it wants to absorb? Or do you take time to think and say, oh, that is not a good thought. I'm not going to hold on to it. I'm not going to be depressed over it. I'm not going to act out on my anger. I'm not going to. Do you have any kind of desire to control those kind of things so that we can live in a community that is profitable for everyone? And if you've got something to say about this, come on down to Speaker's Corner and tell me, oh, that I can't do that, or whatever. Let's have a debate here. Because I really believe that the way the human body is made, everybody has these choices. And yes, I agree. Sometimes there has to be some medication. Sometimes there's something physically that needs to take place so that you can have that kind of control and that kind of thought pattern. But I really believe we were originally made to think about these things so that we could live in a community, everybody sharing the type of lifestyles and things like that, that people can profit, that they can, and I don't just mean materially, I mean profit emotionally, physically, mentally, and be a society of people that we can rely on each other, help each other, work with each other, and have good relationships. So think about what you're thinking about this week and let me know. Thanks.
All right. And I'm just going to give a pan view of where we're at so you can get a general idea of where we meet. And I'm going to close it today saying everyone's invited down to Denver Speakers Corner, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.